Calling all beings. Calling all beings.
Can I get a hey, I'm your host, DJ, and back from the Hawaiian Islands, where she was spending that cheddar so she can have a good time, is my homie, Boston Bia.
Hello, hello. Happy Sunday.
Welcome back. Bienvenidos. And all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, where he's taking care of business every day. Put him together for J Boogie Fever.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Someone give me an amen for
Great
J
to be
Boogie.
That's you in this case, Bia. You would say
Right
amen.
on. Glad to be
right
here.
now.
DJ. Thanks.
Right about now.
Funk Soul Brother, right about now. Hello, everybody. Let's see. We've got Captain Jerry Harris is in the joint first up. Then there's someone named Boston Bia that has a wrench there. And right here, D-Matt. Thank you very much for helping us out with our fundraiser. And look at this, the official attorney of Calling All Beings, Valhalla, the retired Massachusetts lawyer.
I know we've missed you. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
Hi, Val. It is so nice to see you, darling. And then the Cab superfan, to be equal by no other. Give it up, Bia, for Ruthie Robles. How are you, Holmes? What kind of a clap is that? Here we go. We got what was that? What did I just hear? Yeah. With that kind of clap, we're gonna need to call the police. We're gonna call Proctor. So anyway.
No.
Hi, Ruthie. Apparently you're not feeling well. You've been battling Boston Bia, who J Boogie, she was simultaneously having a vacation with severe symptoms of illness and sore throat. Bia, tell us all about it.
Well, when you plan these things, in advance, you don't know what's going to happen. And and I lost my voice. It was a total mess. And on these 12-hour flight that I was just on a few hours ago, it was like a coughing fit. I was like, oh my God, I just kept thinking everybody in this plane is probably like skeeved out because, nobody wants to get sick. And I'm like coughing into my blanket, and everybody's trying to sleep. So here I am coughing away.
Let's go back to the vacation though, because a lesser person would have stayed in their stateroom. They would have missed out on stuff.
No,
they would have rested up, but not Boston Bia.
No.
And the reason is why?
Well, because you got to push through. I mean, I was in a beautiful island, and I just, the show must go on, and this is a one in a lifetime. I don't know if I'll ever go back. I might go back to Kauai. That was probably my favorite island.
Yeah.
But I definitely No Ebola. No, just a cold.
You should have wrote on your N95 mask, "I am COVID free." As you're coughing.
Right? Yeah.
That sucks, when you go on vacation and you're all, and you get sick, just like, oh man.
And then I'm on the helicopter, my ears are popping, the pain is real, but you know what? That's okay. Show must go on.
You push through.
Thank you very much for she is like a tough, when some of the times when I've been up there to Massachusetts and I'm exhausted, having done a bunch of partying. She'll go like 3 days with like 6 hours of rest, and she'll just power through, man. She's got that kind of staying power that she's not going to miss a good time just because she's tired. She's going to make herself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not me, man. If I am not feeling good, I'm not going anywhere. I don't care where I'm at. It's like,
I'm the same as you, man. I'm like,
weak,
yo,
man. It's like,
I'm laying down. But yeah, she's just, that's just her, man. This is how she does it. I mean, so I expected exactly what she did, is that she's going to get some rest. She's going to grab Nathan by the collar and drag him out the room and say, we're going to do whatever it was. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Look who's here. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think I had to drag him, but yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, even whether or not, if he didn't feel good, you would have dragged him.
Well, he didn't. He's the one that got me sick. So he was sick on the way down, and actually still is. But then I got it worse. So yeah.
Wait a minute. Give it up for Dennis Sweeney.
Hi, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis, the legend. We were just talking about him the other day. Who was I talking to? I don't remember who it was. I was on the phone with someone talking about, and I said, like, when you think about the movement, the first person that comes to mind is Dennis Sweeney. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And he is. And Brenda. And,
Yeah, he's one of these guys, like the first person you think about is just like, you think boots on the ground, you think Dennis Sweeney. That's not to say that Tima and Joe and Brenda and Brandy and all the other people that are out there. I'm just saying the first person that pops in your head are the Sweeneys, Dennis or the Sweeneys.
And just to recap, on June 18th of 2025, Karen Read was acquitted of the charges. And Dennis and Brenda and the whole gang are still out there in Dedham every Sunday and Fridays. We're coming up on a year in another 19 days. 18 days. So it goes to show you the level of commitment that they have.
And
because it didn't just end because they want because they want justice for Officer O'Keefe, which is what they've wanted all along. And
you hear that, Peggy? Can you hear that, Mrs. O'Keefe? With love and respect, we say this, and that's exactly why we're doing the Carolyn Clapper thing, is because we're having a lot of trouble with contact right now, and in the mod the mod chat there, Sarah Shakanhara is reaching out on our behalf because another friend of our show also reached out to Carolyn for a reading and got a reply. So we feel like if Sarah can get one reply, we can take the money, we can put the money towards her, and we're off and running. Hi, Chaos Granny, welcome. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do here. Because the only way we may find out if you I challenge. Okay. So here, all you guys will love this, because I know all you guys would like to challenge me and prove me wrong in some way, including Dennis. I challenge any of you in the audience to watch the Teresa Jones expose done by our colleague, Nick Kyle, on It's Missing Enigma, and I'll put the link in the chat if you want. I challenge anyone to watch that from a deeply religious Pentecostal family and tell me, I don't believe this woman has those powers. I challenge you to tell me that. And if you can tell me that in earnest after watching this, I won't hire Carolyn Clapper, and I'll just refund everybody's money, which is what's going to happen if I don't get a hold of her. But nonetheless, that's how confident I am that she can connect with Officer O'Keefe, and he can and will tell us whatever he wants to tell us. Carolyn may ask him questions that if she allows us to ask, which I think she will. We may ask some questions he may or may not answer, but I believe he will tell what the basics of what happened, which is what we want to know. What was he aware of? What was his unconscious self aware of that he can tell? Anyway, that's what that's all about. And then that may be the last thing we do on the case, because I don't know what else, we can do. I mean, there are people, law tubers, that are more qualified to discuss the nature of the civil trial and the results. Not that we might not talk about it. I'm sure we will, because I would do anything for Karen that she asked me to. I just don't see necessarily a utility for us. If there is a utility that Nick Rocco makes us aware of, we would certainly lend our services to that without question. But beyond that, with just the civil trial, I'm not sure how much we have to offer. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
No, I'm just excited to get her on if we can, because this is going to be great. I'm really curious to see what she's got to say about this whole thing.
Do you have I'm sorry, just seeing this from Val. I'm sorry. Let me, before Bia answers that, thank you very much, KS Granny, for being a member for 4 months. That is so dope. And Diane also. Diane is 1, 2, 4, 6, 6 cab member for 5 months. We're very, very expensive here.
Diane, yeah,
we're 99 cents a month. So I don't know how you guys afford it, but thank you very, very much for doing that, because it does help pay for things like our podcast platform, which is Spreaker and StreamYard and Canva that we use to make the artwork. Boy, I'll tell you what, Boogie, do you want to share with us how you made the artwork the other day, where for you the space you did with Amy? That was awesome. That artwork.
Yeah. So it took a lot of work. I just said, ChatGPT, make me a banner.
And that was it. Oh, great. Okay.
I was like, hey, man, this is what's going on, and I need a banner. So let's see what you got. And threw out a couple of them, and I grabbed the third one or something, and that's how it came about. It's real easy.
Wow. I think I need to learn how to use AI to make these banners, because they're certainly better than the ones that I make. Molokai is Val's favorite island. And Val, I know why that is, because you watched Magnum PI growing up. I know you did. Bia, so your thoughts on what do you feel like Cab has left to offer to Karen Read's case at this point, or Karen Read's cases that she has coming up?
I mean, the thing is that we've had the passion from the beginning. And I think that's what we had, back when we were discussing her, her being acquitted, everything evolved around that. And now we haven't changed. Our position hasn't changed.
Correct.
How we feel about the case hasn't changed, and our passion hasn't changed. It's just a little bit different now, because all these civil cases are monetary. If she loses, she owes money, and you can't get money from somebody who hasn't been able to work in 5 years, and who, owes more than she's had to give up her career, her house, her 401k. I could go on and on. She's lost a lot. So if anything, she's just going to be in more debt. So now her freedom's not at stake, knock on wood. But the passion, I think, is what's still in the outrage for the injustice that was so blatantly obvious. And I mean, you have state troopers that have lost their jobs, their careers. They were willing to give that. You were willing to give up over a decade career just to frame an innocent woman. And you just thought, well, I'm so good at this that I'm just going to get away with it. No, karma has a way of, taking care of you.
So all that said,
Sorry, I kind of went off.
Yeah. No, which is fine. What do you think we have to offer to Karen at this point, given that she's in the civil phase of the trial? And I agree with everything that you said. But what do you think we have to offer at this point?
I mean, I think we have I think I was saying our passion, the fact that we care about this case and we want to see it through. I think we have, Carolyn will be, she's going to be a tool. Like, she's not the FBI. She's not coming to arrest anyone. But this is good for informational purposes. That I think we do have, I think we can continue to, have things to offer. But I think our passion is what's driving us.
Yeah, the real question, like, what can we do for her? And as I said, we stand ready if Nick Rocco reaches out to us and ask us to do something to put our platform towards something for her.
Absolutely.
Beyond that, I think the law tubers, including brilliant law tubers like Lawyer and Emily D. Baker and so forth, are going to cover this. And I think they're going to cover it very well. Hopefully Nan will come back and give her thoughts as well on if she decides to. Like, the important thing that I want Nan Gallagher to know is that we're here for her as friends, and I don't care if she ever comes back on air. There's Jules. Hi, Jules. Welcome back. I don't care if she ever comes on air again. Hello, how's it going, Rose? Welcome. Late or not, we're just happy that you're here. So we don't care about that stuff. Like, if you come on air, great. And Nan did a lot of great shows for us and helped us out enormously, helped us pay the bills for the and gave us lots of insights. People came on and donated because she was on. That helped us pay StreamYard and all that neat stuff. So I didn't have to go, hey, Nathan, pay for StreamYard, which is what we did in the past, or whatever. So, but it's the friendship that's really going to matter, because, Cab is not forever. None of these shows are forever. Friendships, are forever. And, I guess Boogie, like, coming back to Carolyn Clapper, I think what she's showing is that the spirit lives on. They are able to communicate with us. So in theory, if you and I develop a friendship over the rest of our lives here, as we have so far, then potentially we could see each other in the next world.
Absolutely. I watch a lot of NDE videos on YouTube and stuff. In fact, I had a buddy one time named Ken, and we used to have some really deep conversations. And it just came up one time where I said, hey, if something ever happens to either of us, send a message. And one day, I came into work and they said, hey, I got bad news for you. Ken passed away. And this was several months after that conversation. And I was like, oh my God, Ken. So I got home that day, and I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's the late 90s. And my son was outside playing. And I had found out that day at work when I came home, something exploded, like a magnet or something had exploded all over my stovetop, and there was no burners turned on. There's no, I've never seen a magnet explode, but it had to have been, because there was all this black soot and it looked like a refrigerator magnet or something. And I remember thinking, no way, don't tell me that's a sign from Ken, and so in studying these NDEs, I do believe, and I was a skeptic for a long time, that there is definitely something that takes place when we pass on. There is definitely life after this existence here. In fact, they say it's even more real on the other side than it is over here. Like, this is kind of like it's not as real. You know what I mean? And so there's most definitely, and I do believe that they communicate with us, and I also understand that, like, they can be with us all, like, I guess on the other side, that's the kind of presence they have, where they can be with all your family members or whoever they want at the same time. So just because they're, like, perhaps visiting one family member doesn't mean somebody's not getting, visited or whatever. So there is most definitely something on the other side. So fear not.
Yeah, I mean, Carolyn, she answers a lot of those questions in her Q&A. There are 3 videos where she does a Q&A where people ask her those kinds of questions about what's happening on the other side, and she answers them to the best of her ability, to the fidelity level that she knows. So that's another thing. We'll probably get to those at some point. Val saying she did watch Magnum, but she loves Molokai because it's mostly untouched and unspoiled. That I'm all about that, man. You know,
Magnum PI.
yeah. Don't you
Love
remember
that show, man? Back in the day with Tom Selleck.
Yeah, maybe we could.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
see if I can find them. Oh man.
Yeah, I went over where Jurassic Park was filmed.
Oh,
Those
they
are the
filmed it over there.
mountains. Yep, in Kauai.
Oh, they filmed in Kauai. Ah, okay.
Yes. Yep.
They still have a lot of the stuff set up over there.
I mean, just like the mountains, they look
That's they
just
have
like they
no
did.
like
Yeah.
props or anything. Because
No, I
oftentimes
mean
they'll
we
leave
were.
props behind. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know it was so beautiful. We went over this area that had 4 different waterfalls just across from
Oh,
each other. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
beautiful.
Let's
Dude,
see if we
Hawaii
can do this
rocks.
before we get into some UFO stuff. Let's see if
Yes.
we could do this real quick because I think we all need to feel it. Let's face it, we do.
Let's feel it.
Not hearing it.
That helicopter is as recognizable as A-Team's van. There you go, ladies.
Yeah. I know we missed the beginning, but this is a great show.
Great show.
Yeah.
Ladies love Tom Selleck, man.
Yeah, former basketball player from USC. Yeah. DC. Roger E. Mosley was a football player, and there's Rick. Larry Minetti. There you go, Bia. You're at the luau. Oh, there it is, man. Woohoo! Jurassic Park right there, man. Wow. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
What do you
Great
think? Are
show.
you excited now, Bia? Yeah?
Yeah, I mean those mountains look very familiar. What they do is that they leave the inner is like untouched, and they only build houses around the perimeter of the island. So
Oh, D Matt is saying I've been watching Josie Lou. We know her. She's a Burkina. She's decoding the phone extraction data and finding some interesting things that confused me during the trial. Some important factors for this data for trials and our rights. Thank you, DMart. Yeah, if you can share any insights, share them with me. And, maybe there is still an avenue for us to talk because Boozy Beauty, oh my God, man, Boozy Beauty. Should we put that up now before we do UFOs? Put up Boozy Beauties.
yeah,
That is outstanding. Thank you very much. Let's see. I'll get through all these. There are so many factors from this trial, and yes, Valhalla still new info being released. Oh, there's Val. Hi, Val. Welcome.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, got you loud and clear, my dear. How are you?
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Yes, ma'am. Let me see. I received signs from my late husband. Says rocker chick. Wow. I mean, there's no doubt about this. I mean, it's such a thing. La Wifey saying, did you enjoy Kona Coffee Bia? You did.
yes, I did. I replied to her.
But she didn't have coffee ice cream. So that I have
No.
a problem with. Okay.
God, I love
All right.
coffee
You know,
ice
I mean, we're going to have to go.
cream.
You got to have coffee ice cream. Okay. Bia, are you a fan of pineapples? Having them straight from the sauce. Straight from the sauce, right, Sarah? Is so much better than here. I swear. Yes.
Yes,
Did you have pineapples there?
I did.
Can you tell the difference?
Yeah, I mean they're sweeter. They definitely, yeah.
What about the
delicious.
Maui onions?
Ooh.
Oh, I don't think I
I heard
tried
a lot
that.
about them. Yeah, I heard they're real sweet and they're like you can eat them almost like an apple.
Oh wow.
Somebody likes
I
the
don't think I'm going
dimples.
to eat an onion like an apple. I might be
Lois.
doing a lot of crying.
There, I mean, hey man, if you remember, do you remember Hill Street Blues?
Yeah, of
remember
course. One of
that-
my favorite shows back in the 80s.
Yeah, and do you remember the character on there played by Detective? I'm trying to remember his name now. Mick something. His the actor's name was Bruce Weitz, and remember he used to
Right.
take an onion and eat it.
Ah,
He was hilarious. That
Great
character. He used to
character,
wear
yeah.
the knit cap and all that.
yeah. He had a personality all his own. I mean, it was just a great personality on that show.
That show, I mean, that show was for those of you who are too young, like Ruthie, this Hill Street Blues was top rated show. Daniel J. Travanti, Veronica something, I'm trying to remember her last name, who was the district attorney, the female. Daniel J. Travanti was the captain. It was a fictional kind of Chicago police department. You wouldn't remember that one, right, Bia? You would have been like a little kid. Hill Street Blues, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
remember it, or yes, I don't.
I
love
don't remember it.
You do? Okay.
When I'm answering and I don't, yeah, and I'm totally lost in the conversation.
Okay, so Ruthie's trying. So I feel like this is going to be a lot of this is going to be about Bia. Did you try pineapple sauce?
No pineapple sauce.
Okay, this one is asking if you've had poke. Well, she doesn't eat fish, so I can answer that and say no. She didn't try poke. Basically,
What's,
sushi
pretty
bowl
good?
with rice, you know, and a lot of different like veggies that goes
High
on there.
protein.
Yeah, thank you, Val. Thank you.
Yeah, at the luau they serve like it's funny. It's like white rice with a papaya, and then you have like the pork and like some vegetables and like. And then I was standing in line with the Cuban guy. He's like, "Where are the black beans?"
I got to have one for Sarah because she always does this. I was minus 4 years old when Hill Street Blues debuted. She does it to me every time. Tuna poke is great, man. I mean, no doubt, and it's very healthy, very clean eating, right, Val?
Yes.
All right.
I've never
Did you
had
hear
it.
what I said? Yeah.
Oh,
Did you hear what I said, DJ?
I'm sorry. What was it?
When I was standing in line and I was getting some white rice, the Cuban guy said, "Where are the black beans?"
And you're like, not happening here, baby. This is not a bean
Not in
island.
Hawaii.
I'm not a fan of black beans either. I like the pin.
Oh, I love.
I
Oh,
love
man.
black
My
beans,
favorite.
Yeah, me too.
avocados, and black beans.
Oh, yes.
Bea and
Avocados,
I
yeah.
have the same tastes.
Mhm.
What happened with the pork? How was the pork at the luau?
It was delicious.
Was
It
it?
almost tasted to me like a lechon because it's, you kind of shred it up, but yeah, delicious.
You were happy? Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Before we move on, are there any more questions about Bia's vacation before we? I know you're not age shaming. It was meant. We take it exactly the way it was meant. It was very funny. It really was. And there are still reruns, but I've seen it not too long ago, and the show is just. It's just a great show. I mean, when you put that many actors together, and what they did is the police officers that partner together, they partner together certain cops with certain personality types, and it's brilliant. There's another basketball player in there. I think his name is Bobby Warren. I can't remember his name on the show, Boogie, but he was a black officer, and he played at, I want to say he played at UCLA. While Tom Selleck played at like USC. So anyway, there's your sports trivia, television trivia for
Neil
the day.
Washington.
Oh, and Ed Marinaro also was on that
yeah,
show, and he
Marinaro,
played
yeah.
football for Yale. So yeah,
Wow.
I know a lot of. We're getting into athletes that became actors today.
I like
Sorry,
Charles,
everyone. I've
Charles
derailed
Hayde. He
us.
played Ranko. He was great.
What's that? The guy that
Charles
played
Hayde
Ranko?
played Ranko. Yeah,
He was great, man.
Yeah.
What was I don't remember who his partner was, but those guys, it was just great, man.
yeah.
The way they partnered up people on that show was just brilliant.
It was a great show.
And you remember, I think I've played for you, Bia, on Colors. That guy named Frog is like 2-1 Holmes.
Ah,
Remember before we had on James Jackson first time, we're like 2-1 Holmes, man. Mi barrio Holmes.
Mi
That
barrio
guy-
ese.
Yeah, he
Barrio
plays. I mean, he's Puerto Rican, I think, by birth, and his last name is Da Silva. But he played a Puerto Rican gangster on Hill Street
Mhm.
Blues. So great actor, man. He pulled that off. Like, I mean, you I mean, I'm not. We would need somebody here that's like from LA and that's like a, cholo or chola. But he pulled that off in my mind brilliantly in Colors. Do you guys remember that movie? Do you guys remember that from about 1988?
Love that movie. You kidding me, Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Look at me, Pac-Man.
Yeah. Let me see.
Órale, Holmes.
Let me see if I can find it on here. Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
24.
She's all, look at me, Pac-Man.
Oh man. Yeah, here we go.
It's Pac-Man. Let's see.
Yeah, here we go. Okay,
We're
we
gonna
got
get
it, man.
Pac-Man.
We're gonna be able to do this. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna have some fun on Cap tonight, as we typically do.
That late NBA last year.
What's up, Holmes? What's up? Nice ride, man.
Yeah, what's happening? Not much. You still smoking that PCP? Make you stupid, man.
Nah, I don't fuck with juice. This is weed. Pee-wee smoke that stupid shit. I don't.
You seen any gang members around?
Gang members?
Me? I ain't seen any gang members. You see any gang members?
Oh, the Frog isn't in the scene.
Yeah, that guy looks like Vinnie Politan if he changed his hair color.
Yes, he does look like Vincenzo. There we go. Can you do that one, Bia? Whatever that was. Was that the robot?
There's no future in it, Holmes.
Stay right where you are. Drop it. You're dead, buddy.
Uh-oh, get the rifles out.
Okay.
He's like, what are you
All
doing?
right,
with
let's
that? Put
line
that
up.
away.
Come on, let's go. Come on, right up here. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. All right. What's the matter? Put that fucking thing away.
Great actor, Sean Penn.
Yeah, he was so intense in this movie.
pockets. Put your hands
Oh.
on your neck. Come on.
Are you guys stupid or what? Throwing rocks at our car? Well, this is my office. What, are you crazy?
Go get your hands up. Give me your fingers, man. Spread your legs. Wider.
Fucking way.
Spread your fucking legs, huh?
Who threw the rock?
I think I've seen it a few times.
Come on, Bia. You should be laughing right now.
We can have it any way you want. You want to have an understanding? We're going to have some kind of rapport or what?
What's that? Cigarette. How many fucking primos in there, do you want? Charlie. Look at that.
Charlie Holmes.
What do you want to have?
Watches, you still with that report shit, huh?
That's him. He's the one in the Hill Street
That's him.
Blues.
What's
Mhm.
my little brother doing up in that tree? Thinks he's a monkey vato, eh?
Stay up there.
You heard the man.
Little brother?
Simon.
What's your name, little brother?
Tell me your name, Holmes.
Felipe. My partner, McGavin.
What's your name, man? Huh? Larry.
Larry. New park.
Okay, Larry.
Larry Sylvester. Looney Tunes. What's the matter with the Pee-wees, Holmes?
What?
Well, they threw a rock at my car, man. My brand new car.
Who threw the rock?
Who threw it?
Who threw it? You're stupid little fuck. You know that?
No future in it, homie.
So you're back in the jungle's home.
Oh, this ain't the jungle. This is Disneyland. So how are we going to teach them?
I don't know, Haji. I don't know, man. I don't know about this younger generation, Holmes. You come down, Philip, I'm gonna beat your ass.
We'll keep the homeboys in line, all right?
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
This movie really caused a lot of controversy back in the day. Remember that, DJ, when it came out?
Yeah, I mean, it highlighted a lot of people. If you were in other parts of the country that were unaffected, you didn't know, because what you're not seeing right there is the Crips and the Bloods, because that's also part of this. And this is the kind of smaller, marginalized Latino gang trying to hold on to their territory amidst the Crips and the Bloods kind of taking over territory and so forth. So yeah, it was a seminal movie for alerting a lot of us to what that was about. And now obviously the Crips and the Bloods have a hold in many major cities in the United States. So yeah, Red and Blue, Holmes.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to see it, go watch it. It's a really great movie.
And if you want to see Bia and I doing the gangster role, the first time we invited on James Jackson, we are dressed up like actor and actress from the movie Colors. We're dressed up like a cholo and chola. So, right? We were cool, right? You had the hoop earrings on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
It was
right.
dope, man. Yeah. I mean, you never know what you're going to get here on Cab, which is probably what keeps you guys coming back. Val, we were going to watch something from News Nation. I want to make sure. Ruthie says it's a good movie. Now it is. That's it, man. It's been rated. Val, did you have something that you want to say before we get into this next video that I'm going to play?
I was just thinking about Hill Street Blues, and I think the big thing about it was the first police drama that was like real, and it was like gritty, and
yes,
like the police station was a dump, and they had the thing that always fascinated me, because I'm like, I don't know how old I was, but I'm a teenager living in the sticks of Massachusetts, is the relationship between the captain, Frank Furillo, and the heads of all the gangs. Right? They had like a whole I don't want to call it a truce exactly, but they had like a relationship.
Rapport.
And when things happened, Furillo would go to them and be like, look, this is what's going to happen, guys. But he treated them like with respect. He didn't, this wasn't like a Rodney King situation. I'm sorry, not that Rodney King wasn't in a gang. I'm not saying that.
No,
like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it wasn't, because now that you remind me, Val, they actually had a meeting of the heads of gangs at the police station.
Yep.
In the show. That's right. Thank you. Yeah. So what Val's saying, if you guys haven't, those of you in the audience that haven't seen this, if you watch it, it looks cold out and the cars are kind of beat up, the police cars. And like she said, the police station was beat up. It was very gritty, and it wasn't this polished, varnished Los Angeles sunny day, kind of a thing. It looked very Cleveland, very Chicago, cold weather and difficult circumstances, dangerous. And yet there was certainly seemed to be a brotherhood. Remember the one guy, the sergeant who used to say, "Hey, let's be careful out there." I can't remember his name.
Esterhazy.
Yeah, Sergeant Esterhaus, right. And his name in real life was Michael something, I can't recall. I'm sorry, we're like struggling with all the names of these characters, but it really was so well done. They won multiple awards. So Rodney King was a Jehovah's Witness, studying to be one, if I recall. Look at that. Jules, see?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Library science. There we go. All right, we're going to do some UFOs now, but I want you to feel free.
Since I'm your assistant, I would like to let you know that you were going to show us something from Boozy Beauty.
Oh yeah, thank you, Boozy Beauty. Yeah, let me go to that and bring that up. Thank you, Assistant Bia. There we go. Let me switch it over if I can remember how.
If you know, you know.
If you know, okay, here it is. Okay, here's how I switch over because I'm on the. Okay, I am on my profile. All right, cool. Let me go to that, and we'll get that Boozy Beauty. The work of Boozy Beauty on the Karen Reed case is unparalleled. I mean, this young lady has put out information and works so diligently and is so organized in the things that she puts out. And I wanted to retweet that today. Let me see if I can find where I guess I ought to just go to her Twitter. That'll be the easiest way. Just give me a second here. I didn't have this one queued up. It kind of struck me after a little bit, but her work is.
Yeah, I was reading some of that today myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Yeah, she's been a hero.
She is. Yeah, she's
just a data hero, a justice hero, a hero.
Yeah, I don't know that she actually understands how great she is. To be honest with you. Okay, so here's the Boozy one, and I'm going to make this bigger, and I'll do some reading. Team, Boozy Beauty, Norfolk County's own, Dean College's own, from my alma mater. The decertified and terminated Massachusetts State Trooper Michael Proctor didn't just miss one video from John O'Keefe's ring surveillance footage. He missed 3. According to testimony, Proctor asked Trooper DeChico, whom he described as a good friend, to review O'Keefe's ring footage. DeChico took handwritten notes while examining the evidence. 3 videos documented in those notes have never been accounted for. And here we go. These are bullet pointed here, as you can see. 12:41 a.m. Tail lights from the driveway. I think she arrived home. Okay. 5:47 a.m. Karen, Jen, Carrie at house. Okay. 12:42 p.m. Lexus leaves. All 3 videos would have provided a view of Karen Reed's taillight, the Commonwealth's alleged murder weapon. Yet Proctor denied that these videos ever existed, despite Tajiko's notes indicating otherwise. I wonder why they did that. 12:41 a.m. would likely show Karen Reed arriving at John O'Keefe's home and pulling into the garage. And gee, if the taillight was lit up red, what would that mean, Bia? Bia, don't be on
that. Yeah. That she didn't hit him. Sorry, because I'm coughing intermittently.
We will enjoy the coughing. It adds to the show. It adds to the show.
Okay. The authenticity.
It does. That taillight was in fact working, and there wasn't metal sticking out of it, and there wasn't 47 pieces, right? Okay.
Exactly.
5:51 a.m. is missing. Oh, I wonder why that might be. Okay. According to testimony, this was the time frame when Karen Reed, Jen McCabe, and Carrie Roberts were allegedly looking at the damaged taillight. Carrie testified that she observed a metal piece sticking out, and Karen allegedly removed a piece of taillight. Yet the video would have captured those events is nowhere to be found. Oh, so surprising. And that, Lana, this is what I want to get into with you, Lana. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can I just say how ridiculous it is? So you have supposedly there, according to the Commonwealth's theory, that she hit him and this taillight broke into 47 pieces. This was on the side of a road where you had plow trucks going all day, all night, and somehow they were able to find all the pieces. Like it's like even when they're doing this, like they couldn't have left some out so that it looks like maybe it got dragged up the street, or because it's how do you get all the 47 pieces and put it back together
over the course of 2 weeks? Because like Chief Berkowitz was going to get a donut, cup of coffee, and oh man, there's another, like with his eagle eye vision, saw a red piece of taillight. But then again, wouldn't the backpack blower have blown those pieces all over the place if they were in fact there?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So shout out to Canton PD. You are the only CSI unit on the earth who thinks it would be a good idea to use a backpack blower to retain and maintain evidence. In fact, it would be the opposite of what a backpack blower would do. So great job. You know what? Just for that, I'm going to put on my cab hat. Here we go. Okay, I'm ready. All right.
There you go.
550. Let's see. Care testify middle piece opening, closing, vehicle leaving the property, all failed to be recorded. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. 12:42 p.m. would have shown Karen Reed's father driving her Lexus away from O'Keefe's residence. And what might we have seen with the taillight? Might have seen it working. Initially, it was suggested that the missing footage may have been deleted by Karen Reed when she returned to O'Keefe's house after leaving the hospital. John O'Keefe's mother, Peg O'Keefe, even alluded to that possibility during her testimony in the second trial. Yeah, I'm sure she wanted to delete exculpatory evidence. Everybody does that. The problem with that theory is that O'Keefe's Ring account could only be accessed through his cell phone. And whoa, Karen Reed didn't have access to it. Why, Bia?
Because that wasn't her account.
Because it was with John.
Right.
and the police had from the scene. Right.
Right.
Okay. The problem with that theory, the even more significant is Ring's records reportedly showed that the only Patty to access the account was who, Bia?
The Massachusetts State Police.
Oh man, this is so surprising.
So crazy.
Shocking. Yeah, would have never thought. Oh, and here are these extensive notes. Wow. Look at these notes by Trooper DeChico. Very comprehensive.
Look at the professionalism.
Karen, Jen, Carrie at house. Okay. Nice. Well done. Well done. Oh boy. Comments, Val.
About what? I'm following.
I like once again, Boozy Beauty's brought out things here that are just absurd, that should not have happened. You are hiding evidence. This is illegal. These people should be prosecuted for doing this.
It's very unethical.
Yes, and I think I keep going back to, if it was that Proctor and all those people, they really believe she was guilty. Like they genuinely believe that. And they planted evidence. You can kind of understand that, right? Like I don't approve, right? It's horrible and they should be punished. But you can understand the motivation to do that. What gives the game away is all the evidence that they would normally collect in a absolutely standard investigation, not even a super great investigation, just a merely competent investigation that they failed to do. Like if you really think someone's guilty, you don't fail to get who knows how many hours of video showing Karen driving around in the neighborhood that night and then in the morning. Like there's just such an and like what's his name?
But they don't feel that she was guilty, because if they thought that they had a case, they wouldn't have had to take the Canton Library video. They wouldn't have had to offer $11,000 in software to redact and manipulate the Sallyport video. They wouldn't have had to delete the ring camera video from John's house. And it's because it shows that the taillight was working. So therefore, unless you're just going to make up something to protect the Alberts. In what universe would you imagine that a police officer is found unresponsive on a person's lawn and the responding officers don't go, knock, knock,
Right.
knock? What universe does that happen in? Only in this case. With tough guy Brian Albert that they were all scared of, the heavyweight champ, the tough guy. That's the only way that door does not get knocked on.
That's right. That whole scene should have been on lockdown, and everybody should have been interviewed right then and there. You know, they should have at least went in the house. Hey, you know, if that had been anybody else's lawn, you can guarantee that they would have knocked on that door. You're not just going to ignore the house where the
First of all, they would have stood there. They wouldn't have let anybody leave.
Right.
And in 45 minutes, Pete Murphy says they would have had a search warrant. Within 45 minutes, they would have got a hold of a judge. We found an officer unresponsive on the lawn of someone's home. We want to search. Nobody has come. And judge, first responders are out here. We have 5 vehicles out here, fire, EMTs, law enforcement, and no one's come to the door. We want authority to go there. First of all, they didn't even give the Albert family a chance to respond to the door because they didn't knock on the door. That alone shows, and I've said this, I said this to Lana today, and I want to say this publicly. We as a show have the utmost respect for Lana Oriani and the investigations and the research she does, because she does FOIA requests and she spends hours and hours and hours poring over material. She's created spreadsheets. She has everything documented, have her ducks in a row. We have the utmost respect for Lana. That doesn't mean we all have to agree on the nature and the course of events that took place in this case. And yes, so DMARD is pointing out that, they would have done that too. They would have been the first ones to knock on Lieutenant Tom Kelleher's door and said, Tom, we need cameras. So I said this to Lana, and I'll say it to Val. People that say they did a shoddy investigation, I'm going to say my opinion is they did an excellent investigation. And the reason is because if the goal of why you're investigating is to reveal the truth, that's one thing, but that was not their goal. The goal of their investigation was to find the evidence that would pin it on Karen Read. And that's what they did. That's what they did. And that they did wonderfully.
And just like Julie Luscious says, Jules, they thought she was going to fold. They thought that she was going to plead. I don't think they expected it to go as far as it did, and where everybody's, extractions are coming out and exposing the whole mess for what it really was.
That's right. They thought she was going to fold like a cheap suit, and she did not. I have major respect for Lana. I was communicating with her over the weekend about some show ideas and so forth, and I sent her some voices, some voice messages and so forth. So hopefully I'm going to be able to actually talk to Lana and see what we want to put together. I might want to debate her on this case because she has a different view of the case than I do. But she's very well researched. So I just want to say my piece about it. They did a great investigation to frame Karen Read because they were able to put on 2 trials. And one of them ended in a hung jury. And we firmly believe they planted a member of the jury who ended up becoming the jury foreman, who was a former Leo, then a nurse. What do you have to say about that, Bia? Hey, Tim. Oh!
What do I have to say about that?
The guy who they ended up, we're going to put him in chair number 1 and he's going to end up being the foreman.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, when they were pulling out the bingo balls, selecting the jury. Yeah, it's just pretty messed up.
He
We don't
allegedly had
know.
lunch with Adam Lally.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly had. Yeah.
I mean, and what about the fact that who was it? The was in charge of the jury, bringing them back and forth.
Was it Tully or Lank?
Tully, yes, Tully.
No, it was Fanning.
Fanning.
Oh, Fanning.
John
Oh,
Fanning.
yes, yes.
It's impossible to tell these bullet heads apart.
Oh, but I got to score points with Bia right now for my knowledge of the case tonight. Did I score some points? No.
You did.
All right, can you give me one then? No.
Me, tough man.
With the jury, I'm not sure I can go quite as far as the foreman being a plant on that first trial, but what I do think is just stinks like primordial slime is the juror that got kicked off because she was allegedly talking out of turn at one of the restaurants there, and Bev didn't ask any questions.
No evidence.
No one had to say anything. It was like fourth level hearsay, and she was just like, "Oh, you're out."
Yeah, so that is correct. So I think I might have misstated that. Let's say he wasn't planted on the jury. Because obviously both attorneys get a shot to knock people off of the jury that they don't want. He was planted as foreman. How's that, Val?
That's very possible because all the stuff with that. What do they call it? The box or the lottery tube or whatever it is.
There was something about seats that it had to do with. I remember them talking, and believe me, I'm no John Camo and I'm no Boozy Beauty. I am not even in the same when I'm analyzing this case and the trial. I'm not even in the same universe as these people. Not even close. I'm good at certain aspects of certain things that don't make sense that lead to other things, like how the case was put together, what they obfuscated, those types of things. The testimony, forget about it. But people said that they seated him in a certain location that Bev routinely picks the foreman from and something like that, so they could get him. And then I want to say that Ronnie, when he was on, the juror, said there were certain things or notes that were not brought to Bev that they had asked, and that he may have pressured some people. That's my recollection. Check me on that.
With a mistrial, going back first to the picking of the foreman, I actually researched this in excruciating detail because there's some mass court practices which should be very transparent but aren't, and you have to wade through layers and layers of bullshit to kind of find what the truth is. And the truth is, Bev does normally make whoever is seated first as a juror number one, and makes that person the foreperson. So when people were getting all excited about that, I wasn't so hot on that. But clearly she knows that. So when that first juror who became the foreperson came up during voir dire, I'm sure, and throughout both trials, Bev and Lally, and then Bev and Hank, were doing smoke signals, right? Like non-verbal
cues.
Whole conversations were going on between them. I'm sure she would have accepted any juror that the prosecution wanted, and the defense didn't kick them out, even if they had some qualms about the guy that became the foreperson. If he was the early, if he was first picked, he was early, and they wouldn't have wanted to use a peremptory strike on him, right? Because they
Good
knew
point.
like some of the pool that was coming up, and I'm sure there were people that they were very very concerned about that they wanted to save their peremptories for.
Mhm.
And the one thing about the jury, which still makes me smile. Oh, because the second jury foreperson, Charlie, I can't remember his last name. Is it Charlie? Wait, what's his name?
You mean in trial number 1?
No, in trial number 2.
I can't remember the guy who was on. He went on some shows and made us feel good about the world again. I can't recall his name.
Yes, well, he just he had done an hour-long interview at, I think, Fisher College. People can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, that's right. I remember seeing that. Right.
And they, my understanding is they released excerpts at the time, but then I don't know. Last week they released the whole thing, and I just was like, you could not wrap up karma and hand it or shove it in the face of the Commonwealth better than the second jury foreperson. He was like the everything that was proper about a foreperson. The way he conducted the jury, and I'm not, obviously I'm very biased, but I'm not saying that because of my bias. I'm saying because he was like, we have a job to do. The job is not solving the mystery. It's not going off on all sorts of tangents and talking about distractors or whatever that bullshit was from the first trial.
Oh my God. Yeah. What Ronnie talked about. That's a distractor. Sure.
He did everything by the book. And he was very reluctant. He was planning on not being picked and getting out of the day he was called up. He was like, I was going to be out of here by lunchtime. I had an appointment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if people did have questions for Judge Bev, and he forwarded them up, and some of them she denied because she was hoping that they were really going to get confused about the verdict slip, and that they would mark it incorrectly, and then Karen Read could be tried again, and they could, hang the jury, or that they would somehow find her guilty unwittingly. So, despite her best efforts, yeah, you're right. He was a breath of fresh air. And it's just, thank you, Lulu Bell, and thank you so much for reaching out this week and doing what you did for CAB. And it's things like that, the donation that is going to help us. I mean, now we're there. I can make up the rest. We have our moderator, Sarah Shock and Horror. Let me see if she messaged me. I believe trying to get a hold of Carolyn Clapper to book a date, because I don't want to send her. Oh, I think what do we got? Okay, yeah, she just sent it, but we don't have a date yet. So she sent it today. I was like, oh my God, do we have a date? But that I don't want to send her everybody's hard-earned money until she tells me, yes, you're good to go on this date. Then I will go on her calendar. I will select that date and I'll submit payment. But I'm not going to do it until then, because I just don't. Not that she wouldn't give me anything untoward, but if I can't get positive communication with you, I'm not going to take all of y'all's money and give it to her, because then it's going to take me a while to get the money back, and I don't want to do that. So let's give us a couple of weeks. Our first date was June 17th. It might be a little bit later, but we're going to let Sarah Shock and Horror do what she do. And then if that doesn't work, we might get Boston Bia in there's our 105 millimeter howitzer to send a couple of rounds downrange. I'm kidding. Carolyn, all kidding aside, from CAB, from the universe, we love and admire you and respect you. And we really want to know what Officer John O'Keefe has to say about thank you very much, Vic. Thank you very much for being in here and for being a member of the cab membership. It helps out a lot, just to keep us going. Especially, given the situations that we've been in, we've had a lot of expenses come up. So thank you very, very much. We greatly appreciate you. All that said, we feel like the only way we're going to hear from Officer O'Keefe now. And Val, are you familiar? Had you checked out the work of Carolyn Clapper?
No, I did watch the. Okay, I'm going to get it confused. The first show where you were talking about,
Yes, the
like
Teresa
her background, and yeah. So I'm really looking forward.
Let me make sure it's in the chat so everybody can copy it. From our friend Nick Kyle at Missing Enigma, Teresa Jones, Case Louisiana. And if you watch this and there's no way you can explain what she was able to do. So this is Carolyn Clapper. And I want to tell you guys, a Los Angeles medium has already reached out to me to come on the show, or her team, her publicist. I am not booking somebody other than Carolyn Clapper for this purpose that I would pay $888 to, of your money and my money. This is Teresa Jones. Teresa Jones case. This will blow your mind. It truly will. And when you see what she did, and you see that the eldest daughter is an absolute firebrand of Teresa Jones, and her name is Ashley. She has 3 children. 2 of them live in Indiana, Vinny and Brittany. Brittany is the one who engaged Carolyn Clapper, and Ashley, the eldest daughter. And she is an absolute firecracker, a no bullshit kind of girl. And in fact, now that the police are messing around with the autopsy and not trying to bring anyone to justice for the mother's murder, Ashley's not trying to hear it now that she's found the body. When you listen to how skeptical Ashley was, she's a very devout Pentecostal Baptist, and did not believe in this modality, did not want this modality. And after 3 days of not knowing where her mom was, as a smart girl that she was, she went with younger sister Brittany and said, okay, I'll listen to what she has to say. And this family is very hierarchical. Ashley is the leader of their 3 children. Make no mistake about it. And she has a daughter of her own who's in her 20s. So with that said, it is amazing what Carolyn Clapper did to lead them directly from the property that Teresa owned, where her trailer is on, directly cardinal directions, street names to the body, exactly the way that she described it. Having never talked to these people in her life, the case is 3 days old. She wasn't going to read about it on the internet. It was 72 hours old. And from Wisconsin, she did this reading and led them to the body the next morning after the reading, which occurred at 10:45 or began at 10:45 Central Time. So that is the reason why we want to do this, why we want to engage Carolyn Clapper. We believe in you, Carolyn. I know I'm a pain in the ass. Everybody involved with my show knows that I'm a pain in the ass, especially Bia. As do the other hosts.
I can vouch.
There you go. And the mods. But we really do want to find out what Officer O'Keefe has to say about his unaliving. We are not trying to name anybody. We can use a first initial or nothing. We're not trying to assert that legal action should take place as a result of this. We want to know what happened to him. We know what didn't happen. We don't know what did happen. So fair enough. Thank you, Jules. I'm glad. I mean, Jules is in this business. She's a remote viewer. Carolyn Clapper also remote views. She also does psychic. She does it all basically. She's extremely gifted. And if you were on the phone with her, like I was, and have her just start reading you, it will blow your mind. Because things she read about my life, everybody that knows me got a phone call. There's no way she could have known these things because they're not on social media. I could argue that the things that she told me about John O'Keefe or Karen's relationship, she could have read on the internet. She could have. There's no question. She could have read certain things that we know or suspect about John O'Keefe and Karen. Like she said that there was cheating involved. I'm not going to get into all of it right now because some of it. Thank you. I'm not going to get into it now because there was one thing she said that I think would be a little bit uncomfortable for friends and family of John. But there was cheating involved, and we already know that. And there was alleged cheating, and there was anger, and it kind of goes to pervert and some of these other kinds of names that Karen called him, and these names are consistent with people who have had someone cheat on them. So, and there's more. I don't want to get into more, but she did say that she said there's no double jeopardy. So it seemed that she knew. Look at that Boogie getting all kinds of love here too. We got to give the love.
Right on
to the Boogs. Yeah, that's right, because he is the man.
man.
But that there is there's no double jeopardy, Val. So she had a sense that there wasn't going to be another criminal trial, but she said that she saw that there was some kind of other proceedings, which is true. We know that's true. And she said that there are multiple guilty persons involved with this.
So I'm sure.
That's what she read. Now, all of us here could say she could have found out all of that on the internet, but she couldn't have found out what she told me about my dog from 26 years ago on the internet. That was very specific. Actually, two of my dogs. A lot of really weird stuff. She told me that how old my wife was compared to me, just a lot of stuff. Things about other dogs, just really weird stuff that I don't see how she found that. So, all right. One more thing regarding UFOs I'm going to show. Is that okay with everybody here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because this
DJ,
Yes,
are
ma'am.
we moving on from John O'Keefe?
We are, unless you have something to say. Please. Oh, look who's here. The legend, Akashi Chris, Boricua, Super Boricua, along with Ruthie. There we go. And Benny Blanco was here last time. Kind of scary. What did you have? Did you have something else that you want to say, Val?
I did.
Please, go ahead.
I'll try to not go on forever, but the reason I linked on was to try to answer your question early on about the direction of CAB and what we have to offer.
Yep.
And I think it kind of wraps all up in a big bow in my mind, because if you look at Boozy, who, as we've said, is doing heroes work, there are other creators who are also doing heroes work.
Brian, Mike,
Yep. But there's like Sam Beningo, who through statement analysis has pretty much proved that John went in the house and that whatever happened right away, which most of us suspected that. But and I can't even really summarize all her stuff in 10 seconds, because it's very detailed and it's very elaborate. But then on top of that, you put people like Aussie Insider, who has done a incredibly deep technical dive on the back end and has turned up really crazy anomalies in almost all of the video. All the recordings have flags or I can't think of the word I want.
The hash values, there's manipulated that don't have the hash values, where showing that it's not original.
It goes way beyond the hash.
Yeah.
Um, and her information, I don't think has been circulated very widely, even though I don't know much about like the hard engineering of the technical stuff, in John's phone or anyone else's phone, but I do know something about databases. And as far as I can follow her, I can't really find any faults with her analysis. And she, she thinks she's discovered evidence that not only say that the 2:27 a.m. search happened and was deleted by someone, but that the two searches in the morning, the 2:6:30 ones or whatever they are, they didn't happen. Those are records that were inserted
after the fact
into the database. And that's the kind of information that I try to keep on top of it myself, but I'm only one person. And there's so many angles that are coming together to the same answers, right? Like the answers people are finding are reinforcing, even though everyone's looking kind of at a different chunk of the case. I'm waving my arm around like you guys can see me. And I think that's something that if people are interested, I mean, not everyone is a dork like I am. Keeping up with that, or at least updating people on that, is something that I think that we can do and do well. I mean, it'd be great if we could, get people on the show or whatever. And of course, I did want to repeat that I said earlier that.
Let me speak to that. Let me speak to that real quick, Val, because I do know who she is. I'm familiar with her work, and she's she's brilliant. She has this technical brilliance, as do others. But the thing is when you get into all the community drama, okay, and you go and you have all these attack vectors, now your work becomes obscured by the community drama aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
And I can ask you, have you ever seen Boozy Beauty engage in community drama or attacking people? Yes or no?
No.
Well, the answer is no.
I mean, maybe that McAlbert's, but not.
Well, that doesn't count. That's not community drama. Right. That I'm talking about free Karen Reed types attacking one another. And unfortunately, the young lady that you mentioned did do that and did get involved in that. And that's the reason. And I was actually a target of her. So that is one of the reasons why I don't reach out to her, even though I fully will say that she is technically brilliant and her work should not be obscured by these other things. But it does when you do that, because if I say her name, I'm thinking, okay, drama and attacking people, and she's brilliant. Or I'm thinking Boozy Beauty, brilliant and doesn't give a shit about any of this attacking and becoming, this kind of gamesmanship between creators. You see where I'm saying now?
Yes, but I have a counter.
Well, you could, but it's my show, and that's why I don't want to. I'm telling you that that's what she's engaged in. No matter how brilliant she is.
No. It's not a counter to what you just said.
Well, you just said it was a counter.
It's a counter to something earlier in our conversation.
Okay.
And if I don't want you to think I'm blowing smoke up your butt, but if there is any creator who can host a neutral, eyes on the prize forum, it's you, DJ.
I could, but I'm not sure that the value is there. And like now, if she were to reach out to me and say, hey, I'm sorry if I did X, Y, and Z, then I'm good. But people don't do that. What do people do, Bia, when they do shitty things? Double down.
Yeah.
Doubling down. What I do when I screw up and I mess up is I say, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I apologize. Bia, do you know this to be true in more circumstances than I need to admit?
Yes, you take accountability.
Yeah, and so that's my only particular issue with her. You notice you don't hear her name on this show.
No,
and
but
that's because if I don't have something nice to say about someone, I don't mention their name. But that's the only reason I haven't invited her on, is because she kind of was getting into stirring the pot, doing 6-hour shows, like ripping on people. It's like, what are you doing? Like, that's not, I don't admire that. You're not a content creator if you do that, in my mind.
I've had my own little stats with that creator. And I think what I'm trying to get at is it's not so much, I'm not proposing, oh, we have this exact person on or that exact person on, but that I think we can still be a conduit for information, like part of the thing that brings information together.
Absolutely. But Bia will tell you, we reach out to people. There are people who have been on who are great, who we're quote friends with, and we reach out to them and you don't hear back from them, or they don't want to set a date, or, it's like, look, I'm not going to drag you onto the show. I mean, if you want to come on and share, we've invited people on, and hey, I'm kind of busy, whatever. And so that's all I can tell you is that I'm open to doing anything like that. People get super duper competitive in this space, which is really stupid because none of us are going to retire off of YouTube. Okay. You better go out and find another career unless you're someone who's got millions of viewers, or you're like Joe Rogan, who bought a comedy club in Austin and, has set up like 4 or 5 other creators in Austin as a result of his success. Most of you are not going to retire off this. So what I tell people, I'll say it here. Akashi Chris has heard it. Bia has heard it. It's about, and Boogie just innately knows this, the kind of a dude he is. It's the friends that you make that are going to endure. The show's not going to endure. Me, the guy with the sunglasses, is not going to be on here forever. It's the friends and relationships I make that are going to matter. The actual brand cab is not going to matter. It will go away. And the numbers will go away. The viewers will go away. And I won't be on YouTube anymore. What impact did I have? Did I provide a platform to lift other people up? Hopefully, God willing. Did I make some sort of a small, tiny, microscopic difference? Yes, that's all I need to do. I'm not going to become famous off of this. That's not going to happen. And that's fine. And that's not why I started a channel. I started a channel to have interesting conversations, and we've achieved that on both in Calling All Beings True Crime Unsolved, and then the traditional Calling All Beings, of which you can see in the chat Akashi Chris is part of. So, Ruthie's like, let's get to the UFO. All right, let me get to Ross Coulthard.
Ruthie's awesome, man.
Ruthie, I know.
Love Ruthie.
Yeah.
Of all these people. They're great. I've made so many friends in this community. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, and that's what you want to focus on, is not the
check Q&A.
Okay. Let me turn this up, mates.
And here, my interrogator, Megan Middick. G'day, Megan. How are you?
Fantastic, Ross. How about yourself?
Very well, thanks. Very, very well. What's been happening? Oh, gosh. By the way, have you seen what President Trump said today about extraterrestrials? I'll quote it exactly. He was in a cabinet meeting, and with Marco Rubio on one side and Pete Hegseth on the other, and both of their eyes were popping out of their heads as the president said this. The president said, we're releasing a lot of information having to do with terrestrial things, and people are totally fascinated by it, President Trump said. It's literally trending #1. Can you believe it? Now, I don't think we should take that necessarily as an acceptance by the president that what they've released to date in the war.gov website UFO site is evidence of extraterrestrials, because, frankly, it isn't. I'm sorry to disappoint. Maybe the president was speaking out of turn, or maybe he knows something that's coming up.
Well,
We can but hope.
Let's
But
talk
look, it is
about
a
that
posi-
real quickly, and I want to engage the chat on this question. Okay, I can imitate somebody's dog. Okay, so no, that's actually something that the president said. And what I want to ask you guys and gals out there is, if you were releasing this information, would you all of a sudden release the clearest, most highest fidelity UFO videos that you have, and or photos and videos of extraterrestrial beings? Or would you slowly release sets of videos with a higher fidelity to desensitize people to the topic? So please, Rocker Chick is saying it's a slow drip. Let's go with Boston Bia, and then Boogie and Val.
I mean, he's releasing it slowly. This is what the current action is. But yeah, and he's not releasing it with the best quality, like he's not. So so are you saying which one would we do?
Yeah, like, can you understand why he's doing that?
Yeah, because he's given us the information, but he's doing it so slowly that it's kind of losing the wow factor.
Okay. Boogie, what's your take?
Yeah,
look, this is Bruthy. I'm putting it all out day one, man. The highest fidelity, everything, no holds bar. Go ahead, Boogie.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I probably would just release, everything and then let them sort it out amongst themselves. But I do believe that they're doing it in the slow drip process as a desensitization factor, so that because not everybody is going to be. Yeah,
Freeze Frame said, "Let her rip, man."
Right. But not everybody's going to be ready for this kind of information, because it does, push the boundaries of religion and stuff. You know what I mean? It like kind of gets into that question. And so, yeah, I personally would just dump it. Yeah.
Okay. So just look at what you're seeing here. We're seeing Mooch is saying ease people in slow so they can wrap their head around it.
Right.
Law Wifey's saying the same thing. Freeze Frame saying just dump it. Rocker Chick saying, yeah, I get it. Ruthie's saying let her rip. And now Freeze Frame's like, well, in chunks, you know what I mean? So you can see, and then nobody wants me on their doorstep freaking out. So you can see it's rip the Band-Aid off. So you can Lulu Bell says, let me have it. So you can see that there is a little bit of a difference, a diversity in what people want. Bia, you want it all at once, or would you slow drip? That was my question.
I want it all at once with a good quality. Not this grainy shit.
Don't have spice rum with Ruthie. I mean, clearly you guys want to just okay. Val, what type of disclosure should we be looking at here?
I personally like to know everything, right? Like I'm an information junkie. I mean, in general, about everything, about the whole world.
Okay.
So I would personally want it to be dumped all at once. But I also think, as an armchair student of sociology and psychology, I just think it could go so badly wrong because many people will be shocked just off their asses.
Okay, yes or no question, Val. Is the Ark of the Covenant being held in Ethiopia right now?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. See, you never know what
Positive sign, and it's to be applauded that the
I don't
president
even know
has
what you can
shown
get.
such initiative on releasing and declassifying UAP files that, frankly, when you look at them, there's absolutely no reason. It's quite clear now. There's no reason
For those
why
of
they
you
couldn't have been released
guys
a lot
unfamiliar, Ross
earlier than
used to
today.
be he's a lawyer,
Fire away,
and
Megan.
he
Give me
was
some
on
hard questions. I'm in the
the
mood to
Australian
answer
version of
some.
60 Minutes.
I love it when you're in that mood, Ross. Let's go to a big headline that I need you to react to. This is coming out. The CIA has been accused of gaining secret access to the DNA information of millions of people as the intelligence agency allegedly searches for alien life on Earth.
Okay, now this goes back to a gentleman who we must get on the program at some stage, Jason Rija-Georgiani, he's been a science fiction writer in his time, but he also, I think, does some profoundly fascinating interviews on the phenomenon, and he has a wonderful grasp of history, spiritual ideas, and I don't know whether what he's saying is 100% accurate, but I'll basically put it all in context. He appeared on Jesse Michael's American Alchemy broadcast in November 2025, and he said that a retired Army remote viewer named Lynn Buchanan, who was part of the old Stargate psychic spying program, told him the CIA has backdoor access to consumer DNA databases like Ancestry.com and 23andMe. And what they're doing, supposedly, is screening for genetic markers, particularly for those pesky Nordic beings, alien beings that allegedly reside here on the planet with us. Now, that's one hell of a story, of course, and it follows hard on the heels of I think, still quite extraordinary comment by Lou Elizondo, the former Pentagon UAP program investigator, who told us, about a week ago now, that were people in the intelligence community who told him about hybridization, human-alien hybridization. So all of a sudden, this is becoming a buzz subject. Now, Nordics, if you don't know what they are tall, blonde, blue-eyed, no, I'm not guilty, beings living discreetly. Apparently, they love living in the Rockies up in Colorado. So if you see any strange blonde, blue-eyed neighbors up in the Rockies, keep an eye out. If they're especially tall, keep an extra special eye out. Now, the claim was made in the same Georgiani interview that Chris Green, is heavily involved in this alleged program. And I'm sure Kit wouldn't say anything about it if I approached him about this. But anyway, apparently the hybrids just want to live peacefully and happily amongst us humans. Lynn Buchanan has publicly discussed an unknown, unidentifiable DNA category that interests the government. And he said he's avoided consumer DNA tests himself, but he's never directly confirmed the full Georgiani story or the notion of CIA backdoors. So this is what Jason Georgiani is saying. He was told by Lynn Buchanan, who has never said anything publicly to back exactly what Jason's saying. So by complete chance today, into my inbox came an email from Paul Smith, Dr. Paul Smith, a former major in the US Army, who was one of the principals of the US Army's Stargate program. And I met him briefly at Contact in the Desert, and I think probably because he'd seen these comments in the internet and social media, I think he was anxious to allay people's concerns. He saw that News Nation had picked up the story that Jason Georgiani is peddling, that Stargate was mining the popular DNA databases in search of alien human hybrids. Quote, having been in Stargate myself for 7 years and having been on orders as the official unit historian, I am comfortable in saying that this story is, to put it mildly, balderdash. If you want details, I'm happy to supply them. Now, I've gone back to Paul and I will be getting more details, but basically it does appear Lynn Buchanan has made...
So I recommend you guys watch this. I also want to have you watch this from Jesse. This talks about something. First of all, I want to thank Rose. Rose, thank you very much for supporting us which is really cool. Thank you. In fact, I demonetized this episode just now while you guys were watching to make sure that we don't get strikes for any of the stuff that we're playing that's other people's content. I'm a big fan of Jesse. I have not been able to get him on the show. But thank you very much for doing that. I have to recommend you guys watch that full report from Ross Coulthart, and I have to recommend you watch this. So here we go.
On Sentinels of Ether, we need to roll the tape back on Jake Barber.
We were running operations, let's say, more attuned for the UAP.
Because before there was ever a manuscript, there was an operation. Jake worked for a private company embedded inside Legacy Aerospace. Need to know operations, no questions asked. But Jake's routine missions for his employer gradually evolved into something more ominous. He was sent on what looked like a high-stakes scavenger hunt, tracked down some missing Panasonic Toughbooks, ruggedized laptops meant to endure extreme environments.
And it's believed on these Toughbooks was highly sensitive information that was evidence to CR programs.
Sensor data and video footage that might be classified and incriminating. Proof of UFO crash retrieval operations.
We received human intelligence that gave us the intel package we needed to pursue where we thought the first set of Toughbooks might be. A recovery team was sent and we found the Toughbooks. I'm not going to say where, and we returned them to our employer. The Toughbooks were missing the hard drives. We then set out to recover the hard drives. Our human asset led us to another location high in the Sierras, which was a glacier lake, and the hard drives were sealed in a steel container like 25 feet underwater.
Don Paul Bales, a 25-year military and law enforcement veteran, later confirmed that he worked under Jake on this same operation.
I think Don
Technically,
Bales
I did not work
was
for them. I worked for Jacob.
And by the
Arkansas
next
State
mission,
Trooper.
something felt off. He was given a new intel contact, new coordinates, a new chain of command. The whole operation had a different fingerprint. When his team finally reached the target location, an ambush was waiting.
The next mission we went out on, I'll just tell you that shots were fired and we called bullshit. And that's when we began to backtrack and set out with our own effort to find out exactly who we were working for and what they were interested in.
From an insider leak, we now know that the programs documented on these Toughbooks used temporary flight restrictions to clear the skies, lure UFOs in, and bring them down with EMP weaponry. For the uninitiated, EMP means electromagnetic pulse. It's basically the electromagnetic fallout you would experience with a nuke without the nuclear blast. But it gets even darker. Apparently, civilian aircraft had also been taken down after entering this restricted airspace, with the bodies and wreckage disposed of. If even a fraction of that was sitting on those Toughbooks, they were a massive liability. Not only did Jake's employer want to destroy the Toughbooks with evidence of crash retrievals, they also wanted to destroy him.
The plausible deniability button that people at the top can hit in order to protect themselves would sever us as the hidden hand.
So Jake does what any good operative does when the mission burns. He burns it back. He and his teammate turned their special ops spycraft back against their own employer, and indirectly, the UFO Legacy program itself. Jake's weapon of choice isn't a gun, it's a manuscript. In DOPSR, the Defense Department pre-publication review is the system designed to silence him. For most people, it's a muzzle, but Jake turns it into a Trojan horse. He teams up with a ghostwriter and begins crafting the manuscript, then slices it into 20-page chunks and feeds them to DOPSR. The first round took 6 months and came back with 7 pages of redactions. Instead of killing his story, the redactions only served to confirm it. You see, Jake used the redaction process backwards, as a discovery tool. Normally, you know it's classified and you avoid it. But Jake submitted material he suspected was classified, then watched what the Pentagon blacked out. By drip-feeding chapters, he could see which lines made the Pentagon flinch, adjust, probe, and slip real facts about the UFO legacy program into the public domain under the camouflage of fiction. The manuscript becomes a Trojan horse. The Pentagon's own bureaucracy becomes the delivery mechanism. And buried in the pages is a trail of breadcrumbs hidden in plain sight. For most readers, it's just a thriller. But for those who know what to look for, it's a cipher, waiting for the right eyes to crack it open. And the clock starts ticking.
Hi, Mel.
Out in the Badlands, just north of Cuyame, Mexico, Earth looks a lot like Mars. Mesas ripped sideways from tectonic violence. Rust and bone-white rock layers.
Okay, guys, so this is where it's going to get really weird. So Boogie's like, wasn't it already weird? Okay, first of all, and Bia actually looked intrigued watching that, which was, shocking. No, that was supposed to be funny. All right,
you are funny, DJ. Don't worry.
So the this one is going to talk about FA-18s chasing helicopters to a mountain that then opens up and they fly inside. That's where I started to lose it. Jesse Michaels, the host of American Alchemy, him not accepting an invitation on Cab, notwithstanding, is one of the very best in all of YouTube in terms of his research, his knowledge, his ability to book guests. And as you can see, the packaging of the information is something most of us can only aspire to. Here we go.
Streak down canyon walls. Boulders sit in bizarrely impossible stacks, like a Martian sculptor played Jenga with geology. There's no light pollution here, no highway glow, no city haze. When the sun drops, it's just you, the desert floor, and the whole galaxy staring back at you. Which means if you don't want to be seen, this is the perfect place to disappear. Welcome to enigmatic Cuyame, population 1,230. On paper, it's a sleepy border town. But ask around, and it's Mexico's Roswell. And that's not hyperbole. It's literally the title of a book by researchers Noe Torres and Ruben Uriarte, who both documented decades of strange activity in the area. Locals constantly talk about colored lights that wink in and out around the mountain peaks. Little orbs and square objects that seem to come out of the landscape itself. And then there's the big one. In 1974, Cuyame became the setting for one of the strangest crash stories on record. A mid-air collision between a small Mexican plane and a UFO.
Freeze frame, I put it in the chat. It's American Alchemy on YouTube and podcast. American Alchemy. I did put it in the chat if you look for a Calling All Beings thing. Jesse is the best. I mean, he's just that good.
A Mexican recovery team raced to the site, but never came back. According to the leaked report that surfaced in the 90s, the whole Mexican team ends up dead, and the mystery object is airlifted out by US forces. If you're imaginative, you might wonder if Cuyame wasn't just a crash site, but has long been a sandbox for clandestine ops, perfectly isolated, with weird geology very good at hiding doorways to things that aren't supposed to exist.
So, Ruthie, I'm sorry to interrupt here, but Ruthie, yeah, they say that there is a portal at Bradshaw Ranch. I know that some of you here who are into the unexplained, certainly Julie and Akashi, I think Akashi, I don't know if she's still here, Bradshaw Ranch, but he's going to describe, I don't know where it is in this video, and I don't want to keep you guys all night because it is kind of getting late. Yeah, where he talks about helicopters being chased by fighter jets and literally flying. The mountain opens up and they fly inside and the fighter jets have got to pull off. So it's
crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's like your mom. The stuff do you remember that, Bia, when I watched this video and I was messaging everybody? I was freaking out.
Yes.
There's so much in here. There really is. It's one of the best videos I've seen in some time. There it is right there.
The locals, they don't talk about the lights anymore. And if you ask too many questions, you might find out why.
DJ, real quick.
Sir, I can pause.
I got to get going.
Hey, thank you very much. I knew you were. Thank you.
No,
Yes, thank you.
I love hanging out
Nice
with
hanging out with you.
Oh, you too, B. It's great. Don't forget Tuesday at 7 p.m. We are going to be on X Spaces for the Getting Down with Jay Boogie show, and we're going to have Larry Davis, a voiceover actor. You may know, if you ever see the Good RX commercials, the little Dusty Pete, the little squirrel, that's him. That's it. He does the voice of him right now. So he's going to be wonderful. I thank you so much, guys, for letting me hang out with you, man.
I will go check you out on Tuesday.
Yeah, the best hosts on Twitter Spaces are Jay Boogie and Amy. So I recommend everybody go over there. I pop in. Sometimes I talk, sometimes I listen, but he's
We
just
love you.
a wonder. You're just a wonderful human being. I'll never forget you contextualizing what's important in life on your spaces one night, and I thought it was very moving and very apropos. Thank you.
Thank you, DJ. Good night, everybody.
Talk to you, brother.
Bye,
We'll see
Boogie.
you
See you,
soon.
Boogie.
Take care, Bia. Bye, Val.
All right, that was Jay Boogie Fever, and let me continue this, and we'll see if we can freak you out, and then we'll sign off for the night. You like the Mexican brass band there, Bia?
Alex McEwen, Tier 1
Yes.
operator. 11 years in America's most elite units. Tonight, he's alone, escorting 24 refugees through jagged desert terrain. Women and children who will die if he doesn't get them to extraction.
Scout, this is H1. We are here for extract. LZ is 100 meters to the south. Do you copy?
They're early, and his team is still behind him somewhere. Extraction without the unit wasn't the plan.
H1, I copy. What is your 20?
Alex hits them with a code that's known as a verbal IFF, a code only people on this classified op should know.
Matchbox.
He gets the right answer, so he waves the refugees forward.
Tried it.
But here's what Alex doesn't know. These refugees weren't just lucky enough to have a Tier 1 escort. Someone very powerful wanted them here. Barber claims that some of these black aerospace programs had a very specific need. People untouched by modern civilization, often from third world countries. Psychically uncorrupted. And displaced people, refugees, victims of natural disaster, they're perfect. No passport, no paper trail, no one who'd know if they went missing. Fed into a UFO legacy operation that most people will never hear about. All the program would need is a reason for them to disappear that no one would question. A natural disaster works just fine. So does border crossing. So does geopolitical conflict. That's when Alex sees it. A second helicopter, even bigger, carrying a steel Conex shipping container with a mini-split HVAC unit bolted to its roof, slung beneath the chopper like a coffin on a hook. According to Barber, this is how they moved them. These refugees aren't being rescued, they are the cargo.
Copy, point. Where's my
3 figures materialize from the dust. They move fast, efficient, predatory. Alex knows immediately. These aren't friendlies coming to help. Their gear is a Frankenstein mashup of high-end helmets, comms, and lightweight armor. One guy's pants are tucked into his Converse All-Stars. Does this sound at all like military to you? Two men beeline for him as the third heads up a hill and shoulders a rifle aimed at Alex's skull. And then something happens that chills Alex's blood. They call him by name.
Alex!
His stomach drops. That's when things go sideways. They rip the rifle from him and break it down like a pit crew before tossing it.
Don't even fucking blink, bro.
He's outgunned 3-1 with a rifle pointed directly at his head from elevation. They blindfold Alex and zip tie his wrists. One of them pulls out a strange handheld device, something like a bioscanner. He sweeps Alex with it from head to toe. A wand hunting for trackers and biometric chips? These guys are professionally trained, not random desert smugglers.
Are you freaking out right now, Bia?
He doesn't have it.
It's very interesting for sure.
Man 1 steps close. Man 3 holds the high ground, rifle steady. Man 1 raises his hand, gives a silent signal, and somewhere above, a trigger is pulled. A 7.62 round tears through Alex's right shoulder, clavicle pulverized, shattering bone and flesh. A second signal and a second shot. His throat explodes, drowning in his own blood.
This is why I was
A
freaking
third
out, guys.
signal.
Many reasons.
Third shot. His face is obliterated. His body drops back, cold, lifeless, face to the stars. Or what's left of his face, that is. The entire universe of Alex McEwen blinked out like a dying star, sudden and violent. Children bury their faces. Some of the women don't look away. It's almost as if they've seen worse. Alex McEwen, Tier 1 operator, patriot, now just a corpse in the Chihuahuan desert. He believed he died serving his country, but the men who killed him were clearly serving something else. Cut to Pope Air Force Base, North Carolina. We're inside Joint Special Operations Command, or JSOC, their operations center. Everyone's frozen. The Secretary of Defense himself is on the other end of the call, and he is not happy.
Dale, what in the fuck just happened out there?
General Dale Steinmaker, commander of Joint Special Operations Command, is wondering the exact same thing.
Mr. Secretary, do you have agency guys in Coyame, Mexico?
Why the fuck would I? Everyone's at war. Nobody should be in goddamn Mexico.
But the drone feed tells a different story. Someone just took out an entire special mission unit on JSOC's watch. The Predator drone had caught the whole ugly scene. Alex's execution, the refugees being loaded into the shipping container, and now the helicopters lifting off into the desert, human cargo in tow.
Are you suggesting this is blue on blue?
Black on black, sir.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
The difference here matters. Blue on blue is friendly fire, tragic, but explainable. Black on black is a nightmare. Covert operators killing covert operators. Shadow versus shadow. Whoever did this wasn't supposed to be there. The thermal signatures of 6 bodies cool in the sand. The combat controller called for air support, but bled out mid-sentence.
All right, Vector F-18s out of White Sands. I want every eye in the sky on those helicopters. Wherever they're going, we're going there first.
Within minutes, satellites pivot over Coyame. Half a dozen airborne assets spin up in Vector South. Restricted Area 5107, the largest military installation in America. 3,200 square miles of nothing but sand and secrets. This is where they detonated Trinity, the first atomic bomb, July 16th, 1945. Since then, it's been a war games wasteland. Eagle 1 and Eagle 2, Top Gun graduates yanked off a training mission and thrown straight into the real thing.
Eagle Flight, what is your loadout?
Sorry, gang, we're fast but not fatal. Negative for ordnance. How about a show of force instead?
Translation, scare the hell out of them
I got
and
flares.
force them to land.
That's about it.
Just don't kill them. They want answers, not corpses. "5 miles out, the helicopters dropped into a descent. They sink below the canyon walls and vanish. Back in the war room, the radar blip blinks out. They lost radar contact. Radar is line of sight technology. Terrain blocks it. Fly low enough, hug the earth tight enough, and you disappear. In skilled aviation circles, this is called nap of the earth flying. And these pilots know exactly what they're doing. Eagle 1 drops to 8,000 feet. Night vision goggles on. Scanning.
Thank you, Val. Thank you for being here and contributing.
Bingo. Tally 2.
2 helicopters, and beneath the bigger one, still spinning on its cable, the container full of human cargo. Eagle 1 calls them out over guard frequency 243 megahertz, the international emergency frequency, and orders them to land.
Copter flight of 2 with the external load east of Coyame, Mexico. This is the United States Navy F-18. You are instructed to land immediately.
But the helicopters hold course. Refusing to ID yourself and ignoring a Navy intercept? Ballsy. If this part is true, we know more about where to knock and who to use the Freedom of Information Act on. NORAD under US Northcom, JSOC through US Special Operations Command, plus the Navy. And we know what to ask for. Incident reports and air defense logs on unknown aircraft in the Koyame corridor in 2004 that ignored guard frequency 243 megahertz and blew off a Navy intercept. Something I've noticed doing this show for years is that the biggest ideas usually hinge on one strange specific detail. Gary McKinnon describing a spreadsheet of non-terrestrial officers. Hal Puthoff explaining why CIA remote viewers tested their abilities in deep waters on submarines. Diana Pasulka realizing that the Vatican Observatory knew more about UFOs than met the eye. These are key details that completely change how you understand someone's story. And if you're not capturing those details, they're gone. I've been getting into Plod Note Pro lately exactly for this reason, because the same thing happens to me outside the studio too. I'll be walking around thinking through something a recent guest said on a podcast, and suddenly a connection clicks between that and something another guest said 2 years earlier.
Answer a question for Natalie. I am quite sure that has happened. I remember hearing this. Yeah, I'm quite sure that we have had multiple of them. Let me see, we got a couple minutes left.
Earlier, this is one of the clearest examples I've found personally of the real utility behind AI. This product is ridiculously easy to come back. Also, and when I get back home, question Townsend Broad will pull this isn't your average AI. The note both in .ai/out today's episode doesn't work. But as he lines up the pass, something's wrong. The gorge dead ends into a mountain so massive, it eats the stars. 1,500 feet of vertical rock. No way around, no way over, no escape. So what is this? A suicide run? Then everything goes wrong at once. In the war room, the drone feed dies. At the same time, Eagle 1's cockpit goes black. Flight controls dead. Engines dead. 200 feet from the ground, at near supersonic speed, the jet becomes a dead weight. He has milliseconds to choose. Ride the coffin into the mountain or punch out at speeds that can rip human bodies apart. The math is ugly. In an homage to the first man to ever eject from a cockpit at supersonic speeds, he double grips the handle and pulls. 8,000 feet above, Eagle 2 can't breathe. His oxygen system is dead. So are his generators. He rips off his mask, fighting through his own electrical failure. Systems flicker back online. He looks down. The jet's gone, but the helicopters are still flying straight at the face of Mount Mexico. The mountainside starts to pixelate. It dissolves from 3D to 2D to nothing as the helicopters slip through and vanish from one world into another, entering a massive chamber made of stone and steel beams. Outside, the electromagnetic force field re-energizes to the illusion of solid rock. To the outside world, it looks like they vanished, but inside, they've just arrived home. Call it a black site, a breakaway base, or something worse. We don't have a name for it yet. What we do have is a body count that shouldn't exist, and a story that leaves more questions than answers. An elite American operator executed in the desert by unknown forces using US authentication codes. A JSOC mission burned from the inside out. A weapon system that can surgically blast drones and F-18s with an electromagnetic pulse. Missing refugees, human beings, loaded into a shipping.
Wow.
So yeah, team. So there is another, you guys can Google this name. I'm going to give you a name and I'll put it in the chat. Jules is familiar with this story. Michael Herrera or Herrera. Right, Bia? You going to correct me on that? No.
Yes, Herrera.
Here. Okay. Michael Herrera is a Marine Corps guy. He had this happen to him in Indonesia. I have a contact here in Colorado who I've lost contact with that I need to get back in contact with that has spoken and had coffee here with Michael Herrera because I believe he's also in Colorado. He's been testified before Congress. He's been on news stations. He's been on Fox. He's been on News Nation, et cetera, et cetera. So this story happened in Indonesia, but it's basically the exact same thing that you just saw, but the craft that was lifting up those containers with the people in it and a little air conditioning unit on type, I forget what you call that, Bia, that type of unit.
He said mini split.
Mini split, right. Was not a terrestrial looking craft. It was not a helicopter. It was some sort of a UFO-ish-esque kind of craft. So this has been reported before, and I didn't know what to make of it. And I recommend all of you go to American Alchemy's YouTube channel after this, and I think it's his second video. You're going to see Jake Barber's face on it, the second newest video, and watch this through, and it'll blow your mind. Let's see. Jules just sent the episode. You are quite welcome, Lulubelle. Diana is saying, Natalie Diana is saying, "La wifey, I need to let this simmer for a few days. These things really freak me out." Yeah. I mean, that's why you come to CAB, to get freaked out, right? I mean, this is why you're here. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Welcome to the Matrix. Because you know you want to watch the whole thing. You absolutely do. Good night, D-Mart. Thank you, love. Great show. Yeah, I need to get some sleep myself because it's 8 o'clock here and I got to get up at 5:30 for work. Final thoughts, Boston Bia, what you just saw.
Well, I mean, it's incredible, but not surprising that this is happening or has happened. And yeah, I just guess nothing surprises me anymore because I think we have become desensitized to a lot of these things. And that's why none of this UFO is causing the disclosure. It's like, I don't know. I think we've become desensitized through the years.
Yeah, but like black ops
But like this
guys
is, yeah,
shooting special ops guys and killing them
yes,
and then flying into mountainsides. I mean,
no,
maybe
that's
you're not
insane.
freaked out. I'm freaked out.
No, I know. I just mean like, yeah, I mean, it's messed up. That means like, I mean, who do you trust?
Rocker Chick, Jesse, like I said, Jesse Michaels is one of, you guys are familiar with a lot of content creators that purport themselves to be these great, I'm the best, I'm awesome, and you can tell they're full of crap. A guy like Jesse does not toot his own horn. He is one of the best there is on YouTube. He's just outstanding. He flies people out to go on his show, puts them in hotels, transportation. He went hiking with David Grush here in Colorado. He's the real deal. He is the kind of interviewer that we all aspire to be. He reads a ton of books because he knows about many things. And he made a lot of money on the market. He made a bunch of money on the stock market, speculating on things. And that's how he made his money. This is what he does for fun. But he was an investor, is what he was. He's an investor. So,
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, all right, team. It was outstanding being with you tonight. Thank you for engaging and making this so much fun. And as far as the Anunnaki, I think Ruthie asked me about the Anunnaki. I can't say that I know enough about the Anunnaki to answer the question that you posed. I don't feel like I have enough research to offer an opinion, and I'm very staunch about Bia knows this. If you don't know something, just say I don't know. Don't pretend to know. Don't make up a bullshit answer. Just thanks for the insight. Yes, it's free with your membership, Law Wifey. So yeah, it's included. I mean, folks can't be devoted to there is that. Yeah, I mean, Jesse really is just, he represents, to me, he's better than Joe Rogan now. And the reason why is because when you go on, thank you, Lulu Bell. When you go on Joe's show now, half of it is him telling you what he thinks. He used to be great at asking experts what they think about their topic. Now he kind of is offering a lot of his topic. But there we go. All right. Thank you very much, team, and we will see you soon. I don't know what our next show is going to be, other than
Yes, you have one coming up on Saturday, the 6th. Why
Well-
don't you tell us about that?
That's right, Lieutenant Colonel Blitch. Oh yeah. Oh boy.
That's why I'm your assistant.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So this is what we're working towards here. Lord, hear our prayer. If this comes to fruition, and if it doesn't, you can fire me. There it goes. Lieutenant Colonel John Blitch, Delta Force. Lieutenant Colonel Blitch is a PhD. He was an instructor at the U.S. Air Force Academy. And God willing, he contacts us back because he agreed to come on the show, and we booked it. And so we sent him a date, and we're hoping this is gonna happen. But Lieutenant Colonel Blitch has had UFO contact. Again, he was a Delta Force operator. He was a Nuki in the United States Army. And he was a PhD instructor / teacher, professor at the U.S. Air Force Academy. And he also has gotten involved in the psionics program with Jake Barber and company after he met them at the behest of News Nation to verify their credentials. He is a true, brilliant, humble academician, but true badass. So yeah, I look forward to this. All right.
Sounds good.
God willing, we will see you Saturday night with Lieutenant Colonel Blitch, right?
Yes.
All right, one more for the road.
Tough man.
All right, everybody.
All right. Have a great night. We'll see you soon.